Redline. If you could like, if you go like, I was gonna ask if you could bring me a T-shirt. But no, I have a sweatshirt. No. Okay, just whatever. Okay, thank you. Just wondering. Yeah, where are you at? No, thank you. No, oh, you're still looking for me. Okay, see ya. Bye.
What are the games mostly played on? Are yours Tuesdays, Thursdays?
Yeah,
See, that's
I like 5:30.
yeah. They're. I think what we should do is
I'm playing on this year. I'm playing this year and focus more on girls basketball.
oh, you're talking girls basketball.
No, I'm saying girls sports.
Girls sports. Okay.
Next, you guys want to focus this year coming up on
Right.
girls more female related sports.
Okay.
And also we have a lacrosse game that's going to come up in about 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh,
It's
lacrosse is
Central
getting good.
versus Redline. I think they're the top 2 teams in lacrosse.
Yeah.
Oh, girls.
This would be boys.
Oh, boys. Okay.
But the girls stuff we're going to do more this year coming up versus boys. We'll do a little more girls.
Well, I would imagine Central, if George Suburban basically went to the state finals last lost. Well, Kate was hybrid?
I'm in person,
In
but like
person?
on Wednesdays we have like this asynchronous day, so like we do work at home.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
But I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
I'm getting all A's. I'm getting all A's.
That's good.
We're doing good, but like they're like low A's. So
I got you. But keep it in the A.
yeah.
Keep it in the A. So that's
Yeah.
what GPA what 3 point.
Yeah. So far I have 4.0.
Oh crap.
Yeah.
That's super good.
Yeah. Lately I've been going to the gym a lot, so that's why it's kind of like
Slacking off just
Yeah.
slightly.
yeah.
You'll figure it out though.
Right.
You're a smart girl.
Yeah.
It won't take long.
Yeah. Oh, I think he got a T-shirt.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it was an event T-shirt.
Oh crap! I had a Sports Shoe Stars shirt in the car. I just thought about that. Okay.
And then got me a T-shirt.
Microphone check 1 2 1 2. One two one two. 1 2 1 2.
did take the
Testing, 1 2 1 2. High school field, home of the Lions. Let's see if he did it come up. It's static.
test one.
Is your audio?
My mic's on right now, and we want to remind our fans that are tuned in at home, watching in the comfort of their own home. We're experiencing some technical difficulties with our broadcast.
Audio.
Audio.
Right, yeah.
But this event really is going to be based more visual events today, right, Du? I mean, right to my right here, the 40-yard dash is going to be set up. There are various events here, and the reason we're broadcasting. Unaware what Big 33 game is. The top 33 players in the state of each year.
It's Ohio, correct?
Well, they battle Ohio, I believe. It's been on and off series with Maryland or Ohio, and again, the top 33 football. Memorial Day, high school will host. It used to be traditionally up at the sweetest place. venue. But today it's about the up-and-coming stars. How about it, do a lot of 8th, 9th graders on display?
There's
sophomores and juniors.
Yeah, there's 8th, 9th grade, sophomores and juniors. This event is actually sponsored by, hosted by Ron Johnson, former Philadelphia Eagles player, also your Catholic grad.
Hall of Famer at Shippensburg University.
Wow.
Football career
Mhm.
at Shippensburg University. Played 1 season with the Philadelphia Eagles. He's here. We're hoping to have an interview with Ron so he can enlighten our viewers a little more about today's festivities.
Absolutely. We're going to talk to Ron here and some of his staff in a few minutes. And again, this event is set up as an agility test. This is a regional combine. This is the first one of our area, I believe, that we're actually filming and having all these events set up.
Correct. I believe 5 different locations throughout the Commonwealth will be hosting events such as what's on display today. And we're very fortunate to be here at Horn Field. One of my favorite facilities, and kind of a little bit of a throwback here with almost a college-style seating stadium here.
Absolutely. Redline has one of the best football fields, I think, in the county that I've been to. It's very large. I mean, crazy amount of seating. So, and the field is superb. I mean, we're on turf. It's not grass. We're on turf, but it's a very nice facility. And as you guys can see, looking around, there's players rolling in here right now. Ron and his staff is here. There's another coach down there doing some of his drills, sets with some of the players. And this is the first of many events that's going to happen for Ron Johnson and his Rising Stars program.
Stars Football Academy. Check them out on Facebook. You may be familiar with Ron with S3 Performance at Heritage Hills.
Him and John Turpak.
And again, a big sponsorship today. Hudl, part of today's sponsorship. Next college student athletes as well. And hey, we have a roster of nearly 80 players coming in.
Oh yeah, for sure. Turn that mic off. I think the issue might be with this mic right here.
And when we're on the air live, anything can and will happen, as we're seeing right now. But we mentioned 80 players in total could be potentially running through drills today.
Yeah, it's going to be an all-star event. Some of the best players, student athletes in the county, or actually in the tri-state area, from Philly, New Jersey, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and it should be a really good event. And as you said, with a live event that we do, things can happen really fast. So we try to adjust and work on the hill. So I think we're doing a good job with that right now. And we'll go ahead and get Ron Johnson real fast, and he'll do an introduction, and then we'll go ahead and go to some of these events so we can check them out.
I believe what will happen here, fans that are tuned in watching, once the activities start here, it'll be rapid fire here with the various drills on display here with the 40-yard dash. There'll be some 5-on-5 drills taking place. Again, basically on the north side of the end zone here, players are warming up, running through some drills so they don't pull an Achilles or a hamstring before they jump right into it. Also want to make mention our videographer, Cade Burnett, is here as well. Check them out on Facebook. Also, check Sports Shooting Stars out on Facebook. It's a bit of our off-season, but we'll be back in the fall, of course, with a football schedule, high school football. And we do hope, looking ahead a little bit, we hope fans are allowed into the stands for football games. How about it, Dale?
Yeah, it'd be great to have the fans back into the football stands and even the basketball courts and even lacrosse, volleyball, all the student athletes that's in high school that's playing sports. I know they need to see their parents there and also support. So I think that's a huge part of high school sports. And not having the parents there is a downer sometimes. But with Sports Shooting Stars, we provide the games. We bring the game straight to you. Yeah. If you're watching from home or if you're at the stadium, we got the game coming to you.
Yeah, we bring the game to you. That's Sports Shooting Stars moniker. And today, of course, on a beautiful sunny afternoon, some partly cloudy skies here. Temperature at about 55 degrees before we hit the air here, our broadcast team. A nice day for training, not too hot, not too cold for the student athletes on display here today.
Yeah, it should be a great day. It's a great Sunday for some afternoon sports with football players. Like I said, this is the first regional combine held by Ron Johnson, and he has a great staff out here. He's very professional. You see the players behind us already running their drills, stretching out and getting ready, and the key, this 40-yard dash. As we said before, 40-yard dash is what get a lot of these high school players to college. You can run a 4.2, 4.3, 4.4. I mean, that really makes the college
the speed
coaches
Eyes light up.
Yeah, it pops out when you're fast and you can run a 4.40, you know, and it could be on display here today with the student athletes that we're going to see here momentarily. And maybe if time permits, maybe we'll line up. Remember some ESPN broadcasters did that? Rich Eisen, I believe, if memory serves me correct, ran a 41 time in a suit and tie. So, you know, it's going to be an interesting afternoon here at Horn Field, and of course at Dole Stadium here. You can see behind me the baseball field. Of course, it's baseball. Spring sports are full in effect with sports at a high school level, and of course we hope to continue the tradition with sports shooting stars this fall with football games, a full slate of football games, and of course it'll lead right into basketball, high school basketball games. Also on the docket, there could be some volleyball, girls volleyball games in the fall. Check our page out again. It's Sports Shooting Stars. It's Todd Edwards, my broadcast partner, Dew Jones. And from time to time, we also have John Turpak filling in as a analyst along with Brandy Shope, saying hi to them that may be tuned into today's broadcast. Of course, we're on Comcast York Channel 18 as well, or if you're streaming us live, we appreciate the support. And we're glad we can come to you here on this Sunday afternoon. Temperatures in the mid-50s, and when the sun comes out, it's a little warmer. Right now, it's playing peekaboo a little bit with us with our broadcast schedule and our telecast today, but we thank you for tuning in. My broadcast partner, Dew Jones, went to nab Ron Johnson. He's been very busy setting up today's festivities, tied in with the Big 33 game. We mentioned a lot of tradition with the Big 33 game. There's not been one Super Bowl played with at least one alumni that participated in the Big 33 game, which goes back many years to the Hershey Park Stadium. Of course, this year's event will be held on Memorial Day at Central Dauphin High School. Some York players will be representing the York YAIAA this fall, and looking forward to a little spring football as the college football season wrapped up with their spring football sessions. And, of course, today we're here with the high school football. Future high school stars will be on display. And, again, we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, it's going to be more visual-based today. We'll add some commentary as the afternoon progresses. My broadcast partner, Dew Jones, and yours truly. But it will be a lot of sights and sounds. As you can see, the players north of me right now warming up, continuing to warm up. Speaking of football, I know the NFL draft will be coming up shortly. That all eyes will be on the NFL draft. Right now, one of the trainers talking to the student athletes to my left. Rich Garcia. I'm being informed that's Rich Garcia, a trainer, instructing the football players here. Right now, there's about 15 players on the field right now under the tutelage of Coach Rich Garcia. And my broadcast partner, Dew Jones. And I'm going to kind of step back here a little bit now. Maybe we're going to run through some more drills. Hope to talk to the organizer of the Big 33 game as well, who's here in attendance at Horn Field. Again, we hope to have Ron Johnson interview Ron. Ron's been running around here feverishly all morning and afternoon, setting up the different camera angles. Rather busy afternoon for Ron Johnson. But my broadcast partner, Dew Jones, is making his way back here to the sidelines at Horn Field. And I believe, Dew, you have some guests with you, huh?
Yes, I do.
Do you care to tell the viewers a little bit about who's joining us right now in the broadcast?
Well, we do a quick introduction. This is guys that's affiliated with the Big 33, and I let them give their introductions of who they are and their title and what's going on tonight, and just give us a quick hello to the fans.
Sure. My name's Gary Cathelm, the Executive Director of the Pennsylvania Scholastic Football Coaches Association and the Big 33. I want to introduce Mike Farr. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Mike Farr. I'm the head football coach at Schuylkill Haven, and I am the current president of the PSFCA. And new role at the end of the month is I will be the Eastern Executive Manager, so I'll be responsible for all the schools in the eastern side of PA.
Now, what brings you out here today? The Big 33 game, a big tradition with there. I mean, once at Hershey Park and now at Central Dauphin, correct, this year?
Yeah, well, really, the reason why we're here is we have combines set out all throughout the state of Pennsylvania. We're just trying to give all the high school kids the best opportunities they can to get out in front of college coaches, with the pandemic and in the way the last, 14, 15 months have been. We found it's, some schools haven't even played football, let alone had the opportunity to get any film. So, what we've decided to do about 6-8 months ago was develop a line of combines that were affordable for kids and gave them an opportunity to get out here in front of college coaches.
Outstanding. Now, how many college coaches are expected today? Do you have that information?
No, there's only really a couple, but what we do is we take all their times. The college coaches, tap into the service that we provide with all the statistics and all the information. Plus, there will be some video of the players going through drills and things. So, really at the end of the day, the colleges just want to get that data, that information. So they'll be able to get in and get all the information from all the athletes. And the kids have the opportunity to showcase.
Exactly. Can you run through a little bit of what some of the events the fans are going to see today in the broadcast?
Well, they're going to do the 40. They're going to do the shuttle. They're going to do the long jump. And then they're going to go through some individual drills from Redline's high school football staff. We'll put them through some drills. So it's basically everything you'll see at an NFL-style combine, with a little bit of twist, because there'll be some individual drills and not all the really true athletic parts of it. There'll be some football in it also.
Outstanding. Do?
Yeah, quick question. How long have you been with the Big 33? And at these combines, what are some of the things that you focus on or that you like to watch when you're at these combines?
Sure. Me personally, now I've been the executive director of the 33 games for this will be my 6th game. The Coaches Association has been associated with the Big 33 for almost 40 of the 64 years that game has been going on. Our association also has the East-West game, and at the end of May we have our 2 East-West games that we'll have, and we'll have the Big 33 game. We're still a little under the COVID restrictions with many of the things that we're doing, but this right here was actually our first venture into the combine. I think Mike explained it very, very well. We want to do whatever we can for our student athletes here in Pennsylvania, and also for their coaches to help them out. We had a meeting with the big school college coaches, Coach Franklin and Coach Narduzzi and Coach Carey from Temple quite a while back, and they're interested in doing some straight line recruiting, which is information coming right from the Coaches Association. So this is what's really official about it. We've called this the 5-star combines because of the 5 areas of the state we're going in. A lot of times people think it's associated with you being a 4 or 5, 3-star athlete, but that's not the case. Some other things that we did with this group, we partnered up, obviously, with the Rising Stars Football Academy, Ron Johnson, who is our point guy, coming in. And I think Ron's going to come on over here, Ron. Can you get in here? Sure. Hudl in National Collegiate Sports Education, right? NCSA? Yep. Okay, and they have come in and they're willing to do everything full-time to help prepare these kids and get them ready to go for their college experience. What I like about what we have here, we have from 9 through next year's seniors who are participating. Obviously, the seniors, some of them, this is their first experience with the combine, and they'll have some numbers to give the colleges. But what these young players can do is we'll have our database, and each year as they come to our combines, and they'll be able to see how they've improved and what they need to improve on. So without further ado, I want to introduce our point guy, Ronnie Johnson, who has his own camp, and we've been fortunate enough to have him work with us, and he's the right man for this job. So Ronnie can give you some good insight into what he had to do and how everything is going to work here today as well.
Welcome, Ron Johnson, to the telecast here, a Shippensburg University Hall of Famer, and of course a former Eagle, but right now with Rising Stars Football Academy. Ron, take it away. Tell the fans a little bit about what's going on today.
Sure. We appreciate you guys coming out with the coverage for the 5-star combines. This was important to me to have this at home. So Redline has been home to me as far as coaching football here as an assistant for the past going on 10 years now. And just wanted to kick that off here locally, give these kids an opportunity from all across the state, but definitely here in District 3. So it's been 12 years for our camp, Rising Stars Football Academy. And something I'd like to say is that it's always been, we always say it's more than football. So I ended up at Shippensburg and had a great career there.
Hall of Famer. Yeah, there it is.
Put it out there, no doubt.
I had to work really hard there, and I'm proud of that. But I'm proud mostly of being able to turn my life around. I thank Coach Reese for that, and Coach Sean Spencer, who's now at the New York Giants. Those guys gave me an opportunity. I was a student in school that did not put much effort in the classroom, and I just went out on the field, and I could do anything with a football in my hands. But something I tell all these guys, even guys here today, is none of that matters if you don't do the right things in the classroom, in the community, and be a well-rounded student athlete overall. So for me, I love having my football camps and being able to provide that, teaching the kids the best skills and techniques. But more importantly, we add the student athlete development component, teaching our guys the requirements of what it takes to play in college, grade-wise, SAT, ACT, the scores that you need, but just being a well-rounded young man and doing the right things. And if you take care of all that stuff, athletics and everything else will take care of itself if you're doing all the right things.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, just want to talk to Gary again. Yep. Sorry, pass the mic over to Gary. Yep. Sorry, this one mic is giving some problems right now. But out of all these games that you've seen, who are some of the players that really stick out to you as far as that you've seen in the past, and just some players that stick out to you?
Oh, for me, well, when you're an old guy like me, you've seen a lot of guys play. Right. But again, having the opportunity to be part of the Coaches Association, and I don't want to say Coach Farr's been around a little bit longer than some of these other young coaches, and he's seen some great players. But obviously, I've seen the Ben Roethlisbergers and. Nice. And LeVar Arringtons and Brandon Shorts, Miles Sanders, all the way back. Now, I didn't get to see, I saw Danny Marino play. I'm old enough to say that when he was in high school, and I saw him play in the Big 33 game as well. Just Curtis Martin, just some great kids, great players. Bruce Gradkowski played for me in the East-West game. So with that being said, one of our monikers for the Big 33 is there's never been a Super Bowl without a Big 33 or without a Big 33 player in it, and that's all 59. I think it was the 59th Super Bowl, this last one. And our game's been around. This will be the 64th year. And I want to put a little plug in for the game for these coaches who may be seeing this. All three of our All-Star games, our two East-West games and the Big 33 game are Memorial Day weekend. Nice. We plan on having a showcase on the 29th at Bishop McDevitt High School with about, we're kind of thinking maybe the top 20 kids from each of our five or six combines. We'll get that more in order, but we're going to have that tied into our Big 33 weekend. Obviously, as I said earlier, we are limited on the things that we want to have there, but these are important for us to have. I do want Michael to talk a little bit more about the East-West if he can, only because he's also head coach of the small school, but he was very, very big on implementing the two games, and I'll let him talk about what his philosophy was with that.
Well, the East-West game, for me, being a small school guy, is really important. When you're around the numbers that you see in the big schools and the opportunities the big school teams get. When I took over the presidency one of the things that I really wanted to do was, well, a couple things. One is I wanted to do my due diligence and increase our membership. You know, we have 567 schools in Pennsylvania, and we were probably sitting at that 38 percentile, believe it or not, that were active members of the PSFCA. So, you know, I brought to the committee, one of my ideas was let's split the East-West game into a big school, small school game. You know, because out of that 38%, only 19% of the schools, the small schools, are represented, and primarily that's because, you know, to be a member of you have to be a member of the PSFCA to nominate your players for a state all-star game. So this past year we split the game, big school, small school. I'm fortunate enough that I'm the head coach of the East team, but it's been a great addition. Our membership of the small schools have jumped to 62%. And not only that, but we now have the opportunity to have like 68 or I think it's 74 additional players being showcased in a state all-star game. So I know from my area, you know, I'm up in more of the coal regions, Cocoa County area. I know we have like 9 players representing each team there, and it's the buzz around the county is electric. I mean, everyone's really excited to be able to see football here in May, and we're going to practice at my local high school, and I'm kind of forcing people, reminding them that it's, you know, everyone's like, well, when's practice? When's practice? And people want to get out and they want to see the talent, and so we're kind of trying to work through some of that. But you know, the East-West game is just, you know, the Big 33 obviously is the benchmark in the state, but I will tell you that there's some really good football at that second and third level players in the state. There's so much talent here in Pennsylvania. It's remarkable, and I'm just fortunate enough to have the opportunity to, you know, bring that value to the organization. And we're, you know, the East-West game this year for the first time is going to be at the same location as the Big 33, which is precedent. And yeah, listen, it's going to be football weekend in the state of PA. So we're really excited, looking forward to it all.
Sounds good, yeah. Yeah, we'll let you guys, appreciate you joining, and get your tickets for the East-West game, the Big 33 game, as he mentioned, a rich history there, and there will be tickets for sale, correct?
Yes, we will have tickets for sale for all 3 games. That has not started yet, but we're looking at the 1st of May. Go to www.big33.org. You'll be able to get tickets there. Again, we're probably going to be a little bit more limited with tickets for the Big 33 game, but they will be available. And then right now we can bring a capacity of 3,500 into the stadium for each of the East-West games as well. So unless that number goes up, and that's what we're hoping for. But we want to thank you guys, and I know that Ron made the contact with you guys, and thank you so much, and all your workers that are here today. Thank you up there. We appreciate it, and we look forward to working with you.
Yeah, we also have contact information at our lower third, so contact information and see who's involved. And
I think everybody's seen enough of these mugs right here. Let's get out.
That's it. Right. Any last words, Ron?
Yeah, we appreciate you guys coming out. Give these guys an opportunity because of how this past year has been, unfortunately, but things are hopefully on the rise. Just giving these guys an opportunity, as recruiting has been very tough for these guys over the past year, but that's going to trickle down. So just trying to give these upcoming freshmen through seniors, and due to all the college coaches and everybody out there. So again, we look forward to this. We're going to be across the state. The East-West game, also the Big 33. If you haven't, just an awesome atmosphere, college or pro atmosphere when you walk into that stadium up in Harrisburg. So again, we're excited and just want to give these kids the best opportunities we can. So for more information on our camp, you can visit our website, risingstarsfootballacademy.com. Our big football camp is July 4th through the 8th this year at Millersville. We have junior high division. But we're here to help everybody out as far as we can with all these things in the classroom. It's about working classroom. So we're pretty excited for that. But thank you guys for coming out, and we're
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you. All the best, and thanks for joining us. All the best. We'll let these guys get back to work, and with that, a great interview, and then we're going to step aside a little bit, and hopefully here momentarily they're going to get these drills started. How about it, Deal? Yeah.
I gotta use your mic, but
Oh.
so
Sounds good. Yeah, I find that interesting. He mentioned it. I was going to throw it out, but there has not been. Every Super Bowl has had at least one alumni from the Big 33 game.
yeah, that's something.
That is amazing.
Yeah, that is amazing. We gotta remind fans that too.
Yeah, he mentioned it. He took where I was going to say it, but they were on it, baby.
Yep, now the bugs are coming out, right?
Yeah.
Well, one thing, yeah. That sun's out, man.
Love it though.
Oh, yeah. About to die, yeah.
Sure.
Was this on when we had it? That little bar moving?
Yeah.
I mean, is that the signal?
I don't know. Yeah, this is more or less like, we'll talk about the stuff we can talk about. For the most part, we're probably just going to be filming. Well, once they get closer to us, we can be able to see the numbers and stuff.
Well, I think they may be doing, speaking of which, maybe time for... I'll tell you what, that's Ron. He's a big guy, man.
Yeah, he's 6'5",
right? Yeah. He looks,
He was like that in high school. I went to high school with him.
Oh, so you, okay.
In the same year, yeah.
Okay, so he was...
Yep.
And he played for Catholic.
Yep.
For Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
Did any other sports? Was he basketball?
Todd, you can say to him real quick that, hey, we're about to feature the 40-yard dash with the class of 2000. What year was that? 24, 25?
Yeah. Sports fans, we're back. It's Todd Edwards, Dew Jones here under bright sunny skies here at Horn Field. Temperatures in the mid-50s right now, but feels a little warmer here as they're getting set to run the 40-yard dash here. As you can see, camera's set up. The coaches are instructing the young athletes. 2024. I'm being told right now the class of 2024 candidates, and I'm going to try to do our best here. We're not broadcasting a game here. There's multiple different drills going on. There was the long jump going on. There's going to be the 40-yard dash. There's going to be some 5-on-5 drills. And right in front of us should be interesting, too. A 40-yard dash, when college coaches look for athletes, the first thing at the top of their list is speed. And this is one of those speed events here, the 40-yard dash. And I do have the roster in front of me, Dew. There's some players here. I mean, you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, from around the state, they're going to be here. I mean, a lot of local representation, but West Philly High is represented. St. Joseph Prep, I see there's a player here. And again, a lot of the players, I mean, they were expecting 80 players to come out to today's event. Haven't gotten an official head count on that, but St. Joseph Prep, I think, we're quite familiar with St. Joseph Prep in Central York at the sweetest place on earth at Hershey Park Stadium last fall. Totally low, yeah. Fans had a chance to watch. Did you see Marvin Harrison Jr. play in the spring game for Ohio State? He looked ready to play on that next level, no doubt about it. And their quarterback, Kyle McCord, also played in that spring game for Ohio State, too. You could say they're college ready. How about it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of big players out here tonight. I saw from St. Joe's Prep, there was a couple players here. We'll try to go around and talk to some of the players towards the end of this combine, but there's a lot of events going on right now, and it's really good to see all the players out here playing and having the opportunity to play amidst this COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah, you mentioned the COVID-19, and we hope maybe with the more shots in the arms from people that they will allow, lift some more of the restrictions and hopefully allow fans in the stands, particularly for outdoor events such as football in the fall. I could see sometimes the restrictions being placed on indoor activities, such as maybe in the fall girls volleyball and then later the winter sport with girls and boys basketball. But certainly with the capabilities of attendance here at Horn Field, this is a massive stadium here, and you could really socially distance properly here, Dew, under the Friday night lights here, hopefully in the fall.
Pretty much wherever I stand at, you can just talk about it. Like, hey, you see Ron Johnson over talking to the guys, you know what I'm saying? And you can see them doing some agility techniques right there. So pretty much, if you can watch this camera, you can sit behind us wherever the camera's at is where you'll chime in at sometimes. So, hey, this is what's going on right now. I would do it too if I had the other mic, but if you don't have it. So the 40-yard dash is going right now. You gotta turn your mic on.
40-yard dash being ran right in front of us right now.
And that number right there is 324.
Looks like it was a Caleb Britting running there, a 5'8", 220-pound tight end wide receiver. And we're trying to follow their program roster here with the student athletes.
Talk about what the 40-yard thing is? Like it has timed or whatever?
It's timed on the laser.
Yes, it is, and as you can see on display there at the 40-yard line, with our next runner coming up here. Yeah, Michael Scott, who is part of the class of 2025. They list Michael Scott at 5'9", 150 pounds at the quarterback position and cornerback on defense. He'll be an incoming freshman in the fall for Dallastown. And that's on display right now, as you can see with our next runner, next player. And some agility drills taking place at around the 30-yard line here at Horn Field with some of the players. Ron Johnson addressing some of the players on about the 20-yard line downfield near the scoreboard here at Horn Field. A lot of multiple events taking place, and here we are off and running again. 40-yard dash. 105. And I'm looking at a roster full of names, and of course, they're not in numerical order here. So fans have to bear with me there as I look them up. That's Zaire Selby running his 40, a class of 2025, 5'6". They list him at 117 pounds, There you go. Yeah, but quick, and I see our Cade Burnett is down on the field as well from Cade Visuals. Does a fantastic job with videography work and has done a game or two with Sports Shooting Stars over the past season or two. Turned out to be a beautiful day here, for an outdoor activity. It's funny. My daughter's here. My oldest daughter's here. As broadcast partner Dew Jones mentioned, she started out with a hoodie. She had to shed the hoodie because the sun's out and it's warming up here at Horn Field, which is perfect, ideal conditions for a training day. Not too hot, not too cold for the players. Yeah, there is. As my broadcast partner, we have one stationary camera downfield around the 40-yard line, and then, of course, we have one high atop here, Horn Field, that are panning the view. Coach Rich Garcia has probably, about 30 players down there from about the 25-yard line down to about the 5-yard line. And as I can see, there's some big kids down there. Look like some offensive linemen, defensive linemen in position down there, along with some other skilled players. Running through some calisthenics, some of the players warming up for their drills. As we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, nearly 80 players will have been invited to the combine now. But I would say at least a good 40 of them out on the field right now, too, in some capacity.
And it's two sets of players from the class of 2024-25 and also from the class of 2022-23, I believe. So the two sets of players that's going to come in. I think the older crowd is going to be focused on around 1:30 today.
Another 40-yard contestant in position. That was DeCarry Dennis running there, number 316. Class of 2024.
Good instructions.
Number 220 running the 40, and that's William Almeida. Class of 2023, listed at 5'9", 158, a wide receiver, and plays corner and safety on defense. And as I'm finding out, there's some numbers that are not listed in our program. So it's
it happens like that sometimes.
Yeah, it does. That was Trey Good running his 40.
And as we said, this is the first regional combine, so it's going to be
one of 5 that will be held throughout the Commonwealth in all parts of the state. And Redline, fortunate to host the first one here. It's interesting, you mentioned looking ahead to the fall sports season. If they do allow fans into the stands, the Central York football program, the Panthers, will be a hot ticket, similar to years ago when Eli Brooks was playing for Spring Grove and Northeastern Bobcats with Antonio Rizzuto and Fred Mulba Jr. They were a hot ticket no matter where they went. That same thing will happen with the Central York Panthers football team this fall. Home or away, the fans will flock to see the Panthers and Beau Pribula. This area, a big Penn State territory here, and a lot of big fan base here for Penn State.
Yeah, we get that in York and Adams County. You get them a couple special players that come out every couple of years where they have, just a impact. Like a Beau Pribula, like an Antonio Rizzuto, like I said, Fred Mulba. And, Eli Brooks.
Eli Brooks, who, by the way, will be coming back for his 5th season at the University of Michigan. And congratulations to Eli for coming back for his 5th season. And from what I understand, he'll be working on his master's degree, as he makes his way back to Ann Arbor, Michigan, for, I guess, a senior plus year, if you will. And due to COVID, the players are allowed to come back for an extra year.
Also want to welcome the fans back
back that's watching the live feed, Cliff Kern, our producer, got the live feed back up and running. Like I said again, everything's being recorded, so it can still be uploaded. You'll still be able to watch the full event. But big shout out to Cliff Kern. He does a great job from behind the scenes and making sure everything's going accordingly. And anytime something's down, Cliff, at a drop of a hat, man, he makes it happen.
He's there.
Really appreciate that.
Belinda Morales is here as well, our camera operator, and Lexi Miller here chiming in with some photos and video. It's a small operation, but we're making it do each and every broadcast with Sports Shooting Stars. And again, like our Facebook page and follow us on Instagram, Sports Shooting Stars. And a little break in the action here. It looks like a lot of the players have congregated along what would be the third base side of the Dole Stadium here. You don't see many Dole Stadiums left. How about it? It was quite common in the pros back in the day in Cincinnati, Philadelphia, some other cities. And even Baltimore, the old Memorial Stadium was a dual-purpose stadium. This one here is kind of unique here in Redline, where you can see in front of us the baseball diamond set up. Yeah, interesting to see that, and a big history here with baseball. I mean, Butch Weinecker from the 70s played here in Redline. He was a major star who went on to play probably about 15 years in Major League Baseball with the Twins and Yankees. Scott Fitzke was another big star from the Redline area who went on to play football at Penn State. But it's a neat complex here at Redline High School.
Gorgeous stadium. I mean, it's so big.
Yeah.
It gives you that college feel.
Yes, it does.
This is the perfect place to have a combine like this. And with this being the first year of the regional combine, you would think that it's going to be something
Continue to
every year. And this is going to get more fans. It's going to get bigger and better.
And we're kind of set up, if you will, straightaway center field. How about it for baseball? I mean, looking at right in there to home plate and the pitcher's mound. It would take quite a shot for a hitter to hit a home run out here to this area. How about it? You see some of the sight lines here, the dimensions. 320 down looks like the left field side. How about that shot down along the third base side? 360. That would take a big-time shot. And I know Butch Weinecker back in the day could drill some balls out of Horn Field. Some kids setting up at about midfield here. It looks like they're going to have some, maybe the passing drills taking place here, too.
Very nice. I see the footballs out for the first half of this combine. You didn't see any footballs. You saw all calisthenics and drills and agility tests. But now I see a couple of footballs out in the field. And I know that makes the student athletes' eyes light up, knowing they get a chance to catch the ball.
Oh, it gets me excited sitting here now. You can see me, when we call some action here and see some of the players.
You can go ahead and list a couple guys that's from our area, York and Adams County, and let them know that they are here in the facility. And just some names that stick out to you, just whoever.
Yeah, we mentioned a lot of the areas, represented from around the area. I see Central York High School, Brandon Watson. From Redline, also Braden Golden listed. From Spring Grove, Braden Merrill. Brendan Kaufman from Redline, Brian Rios from Dover. Camden Groff from Dallastown listed here as well on the roster. Chase Evans from Redline. Colin Faust from York Catholic. Connor Dayhoff from Dallastown. Really heavy with YIAA players here, From Central, Eli Nagel. Dylan Lease from Dallastown. Also Ethan Vargas from Dallastown. Gavin Wentz. Dallastown players being, I'll tell you what, Dallastown being represented. Isaac Gutierrez, Isaiah Baker, Hunter Baldwin from Redline, Luke Miller from Redline, along with Malachi Washington Lee, representing Redline, Mackay Santana from Central York, Parker Hines, we mentioned his name. He'll probably have a big involvement with Central in the fall, catching a few passes, I'm sure, from Bo Prabula. zoning in a little bit on the drills taking place at the end zone to the right of your television screen. Some of the receivers lined up. And this broadcast will be nice because it'll be part of our video library for a lot of the players participating to go back and see themselves and have some film footage on display.
Absolutely, and a lot of these kids are going to send, student athletes are going to send these videos to their prospective college choice that they want to go to. So this video right here and this footage is very key for their development and also getting them to the next level in sports.
And hope to play at the next level, whether it's a Division I, II, or III. A rich history of football here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. It looks like some parents made their way into the stands over along the third base side of Horn Field to see their sons play, or at least run through a lot of the drills. Some speed and agility drills. Coach Ron Johnson down there overseeing some of the drills.
Coaches out here volunteer, I believe, for this event. Some catching drills, and I see far along what would be the first base side of Horn Field, it looks like they're doing some agility jumps as well over there with the players. A lot of different activities, you mentioned it, taking place. And as a broadcaster, it's kind of hard to keep up with all the action. It's not like calling a game, whether we're calling a basketball or football game here, to do a very unique broadcast today with the Combine. Yeah, and with those jumps, I think they're testing their vertical. So, you guys can get a look right there, them testing their vertical, and they're measuring it. Maybe you might get one of those kids that have a 40-inch. Like, I think Allen Iverson had a 40-inch vertical for him. He was only 5'11", 6 foot. So.
Was not very tall. Yeah, Allen was not very tall. George played his college ball at Georgetown University and then later Philadelphia 76ers. And remember, we had as a broadcast partner the number 2 pick that year was Mark Hendrickson for the Eagles. Remember? The first-round pick for the Sixers, AI, and then Mark Hendrickson was the second-round pick for the Philadelphia 76ers, who ended up playing in the NBA for a couple years and then had a rather lengthy MLB career. And we were fortunate to have him in our broadcast booth at York Suburban, yes. So, hope to add some more special guest commentators. We've been fortunate this past season with having Mark Hendrickson in the booth. Also, Billy Tyndall, no stranger to Redline basketball. Billy Tyndall, the UMass Hall of Famer, was gracious enough to come into our broadcast booth for a broadcast earlier this year. And the sun has reappeared here at Horn Field. How about it, Du? Maybe time to take off your winter coat.
Yeah, I mean, when that sun comes out, it increases the degrees up by at least 6 or 7 degrees. But some of the student athletes that's watching here tonight, take key of what's going on with some of these athletes and some of their agility tests, because once you come to a combine, you're going to be expected to do some of these things as far as jumping, leaping, running routes, the 40, of course, and, other skills tests. This is a great preview of what you can look forward to. Again, we're showcasing class of 2022, 23, 24, and 25.
And then, of course, with all these agility drills, then you have to kind of put all this together. And then once you get on the field in between the lines, it's game time. And that's a whole other element when it comes to playing high school football.
Oh, yeah, it's like, what they call practice players and game time players. You can do all the drills in the world and be great at it, but when it's time to actually perform and do these things, that's when it really counts, you know what I mean? But you have to put the work in that practice so you can show what you can do when it's game time.
Yeah, I think Vinny Serrano said it best one time. Looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane, and sometimes with the drills, you can be the best runner in the 40 and jump the highest, but until you get on the field and make it happen, it's interesting. And again, these players put it all together and make it happen. And of course, Friday Night Lights, we'll be back for another season this fall in some capacity, and we hope maybe the fans are allowed to come back into the games as well. And working the camera angles here, trying to take you. It looks like they're running through some drills here, passing drills near the north side end zone.
And some of these coaches, they'll let you know if you're not doing the drill the way they want it to be done or the right way to be done, hey, you got to do it again. So that's a really good test to see if they can follow directions and do things the right way, because, it's a lot of skill and direction that you need to have when you're doing certain agility tests.
I mentioned the magnificent facility here at Horn Field, but let's not forget Redline High School has one of the best gyms in the area as well. The new gym is a fabulous gym to see a game and to broadcast a game, along with Central York High School. Spring Grove High School, also another nice gym. And going through some vertical jumps along what, like I said, would be the first base side of Horn Field. And it looks also as if they're doing some broad jumps as well, along what would be the concession stands there along the first base side, Horn Field. See Ron Johnson's down there, calling. Making my way down here to the sideline here. Ron Johnson's here. I'd like to speak to the fans in attendance here. Ron, go ahead.
Come down right now.
And my broadcast partner, unaware of what may be. I have no doubt it will keep it PG. But I'll make my talk to head coach Jesse Shea, Redline. He's here. A lot from Red is here in attendance, helping with the. What we're here. We're here talking to some of the fans. I know we've been having technical difficulties with our broadcast, so some of them actually came out here to Horn Field to watch it on display. It's been an awning. Todd Edward, I finally made my way through the gates here. It's like a Fort Knox here. We're joined midfield here by head coach Jesse Shea. Jesse, welcome to the program.
Well, you know, obviously this great event here at our stadium. Love seeing all these young men working so hard. You know, Coach Johnson and you know, PSFCA putting this event on for these young men to kind of showcase themselves, and you know, it's a good opportunity.
Great.
Just you know, the fact that we're back out here, you know, gets the juices flowing again. Absolutely a plus. So it's hoping for a normal season next year. But
we.
Well, just to piggyback on that, that's what high school sports is all about. Having the fans there, student section, the parents there, and everything like that. You know, Redline, from what my knowledge, Redline always has a lot of good players coming into the program. You have guys like Randy Pfizer, you had Devontae Dennis, just a litany of guys that are coming in. Who are you guys like featuring this year, and what kind of style of offense are you going to run this year?
well, our offense doesn't really change much. It's the RPO system that we run. We love that. We got a couple very good seniors coming up through. Jeffrey Namake, Jake Bradley, Chase Evans, some and a couple others. But you know, we've got some kids that are working hard. A lot of our kids are playing other sports too. So that's we love that. That's great. You know, they're getting to see other things. They're getting to compete. So it's you know, just kind of the same old thing for us. Try to you know, do the best we can. You know, you were telling me your son plays for Central.
Yeah.
We know how good Central has been, and you know, especially the young men coming up through.
Yeah.
So you know, York High is good. We got a couple other good teams on the rise here in the county. So I'll tell you what, York Adams Division I is going to be a battle next year.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't have your stats right in front of me, but how many years have you been with the program? And you know, just give us a little background on what you like to do, and you know, how you got to the point where you're at right now.
Sure. This is my just completed my 8th year 8th season here at Redline. Before that, I was defensive coordinator up at Bishop McDevitt in Harrisburg. You know, been very lucky having pretty much the same assistants on staff mostly my entire career here. You know, it's 8 years in. Everyone running through now. The youth program is running our stuff. We have a good flag program set up for the real young kids.
Good.
So it seems to be moving here, and you know, we're just excited, and kind of what you said, you know, we're here for our community. We want the community support, so we're looking forward to next year having that back.
All right, man, that sounds really great. I'm going to pass it back over to Todd, and, you know, I know you have something to add in.
Oh, no, I think you've done a great job, Coach, in 8th year. And looking for any plans for what's your non-conference schedule? If you play one, do you know your non-conference teams this year?
Yeah, we do. We'll be starting with, it's actually 3 mid-pen teams we'll start the year with. We'll be hosting Cedar Cliff, and then we'll be making 2 long back-to-back trips out to Waynesboro and Chambersburg. So, yeah, we'll play 3 mid-pen teams before we start with our league schedule with Central.
Well, we certainly hope we're going to be part of a broadcast here with Redline here. This is going to be one of the big teams in Division I, along with York High, Central York, and this place hopefully will be rocking this fall with Coach Jesse Shea.
One other question for Coach Shea.
Yeah.
Now, how important this is so people know, how important is it to have out-of-conference games, and how do you do your scheduling? Is there certain teams that say, hey, I want to play against them, or how's that go about? And I know it's very important, especially with York County ball. You know, you hear it every year. Sometimes people say, you know, York County football is a little soft and things like that. So, you know, I believe it's very important to schedule out-of-conference as well. So how do you go about scheduling your teams?
Well, you want to look for teams that are going to prepare you for your division schedule. You know, you look for teams that have historically been, you know, solid. Nobody wants to just go in and play a team that you know you're going to win by 45 points. That doesn't help anybody. So, you know, we're going to play a really stout team against Cedar Cliff.
Right.
Then we're going to run into a program that previously had made playoffs 4 out of the last 5 years in Waynesboro, who run a system. And then you get to go ahead and test yourself against one of the largest schools in the district, Chambersburg, who plays up in the Mid-Penn Commonwealth. You know, those boys play.
Right.
So for us, we're looking for games that are going to prepare us moving forward into our league schedule.
Absolutely. Like I said, you hit it right on the nose. I just want to get your opinion about it, and I think that's a lot of the top teams in York County right now are scheduling outside the conference and scheduling you know, powerhouse teams that they can, you know, kind of gauge where they're at and where they can do and how they can do better moving forward. So just want to add on to that, and that's all I have, guys.
Stay healthy. We're joined by Jesse. We'll be here for a live broadcast of football, and thanks. That's Coach Jesse Shea here with Sports Shooting Stars, and we appreciate him coming in. And we talked to some fans that, again, we want to emphasize to our fans watching at home, there's been some technical difficulties. I talked to a fan that actually came out here to the stadium. He was watching, and it was just too many difficulties for technical-wise to watch. And he's here and likes what we're doing. And
We're back up now.
We're back. That's good. And as you can see down here, they're running some drills. Some rain clouds maybe moving in. I did check the forecast before coming down here, They were calling for no rain, but you never know. That could change on the whim, and we hope we stay dry here for our broadcast as we're on the field. Coach Ron Johnson here with his coaching staff from Redline. Of course, Ron is an assistant coach for the Redline Lions.
And just to add in, Johnson has his hat in a couple of different things. He runs his own program with the Rising Stars. Ron Johnson also is with S3 Performance Training. Gets guys in shape, and also he's an assistant coach for Redline. So he has a couple of different things he got going on. And also want to give a shout out to Ron Johnson's son, Division II, and they went to the Final Four, I believe. You know what I mean? His son went to down in Florida. So, you know, big shout out to Flagler University. Ron Johnson's son plays down there. They did a great job this year. To the Final Four for Division II. So, you know, Ron's been very busy this year, and then he even recruited us to come out here and film the game. So, you know, he has big visions for student athletes in your county, and this is just a start of what he really wants to do.
No doubt about it. And, of course, S3, you mentioned S3, tied in with S3 performance at Heritage Hills along with John Turpak. Continued success at Heritage Hills, training the youth and physically and mentally at S3 performance.
We'll go back to Todd, and we'll go back to filming some of these agility tests, and we do some coming in, and it is getting a little cloudy, so we should see how this is going to turn out.
Prepared for my broadcast partner is prepared with it. He brought his winter jacket. I was dressed more spring-like, hoping the sun would stay out, but it's been intermittent sunshine today, but it has been dry, and we'll be here on the air for another 2 hours, an hour and a half until 4 o'clock, bringing you some of the combine.
Fantastic field.
No doubt about it, and we're going to join Belinda Morales in the broadcast booth as we make our way. event still taking place here at Horn Field. Broadcast partner Dew Jones here. Ran into Devontae Dennis's father. He'll be graduating this year. Devontae Dennis played football and basketball here at Redline High School. You never know who you'll run into. How about it, Dew? Some parents are here watching. Even a viewer that experienced some technical difficulties with the broadcast at home decided to leave his house and come out and see the action for himself live. The lineman, yeah.
Also, quick shout out to Devontae Dennis, who was also the co-player of the year.
With Michael Dixon from Dallastown. Had the chance a couple weeks ago at the All-City Classic to see both players play, along with Chance Westry, even Karan Brown was in attendance at the All-City Classic up at the Boys and Girls Club in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Nice turnout for that event there, Dew. Also, Malachi Palmer was there when you were in attendance, who was nationally ranked as a part of the freshman team. Did you see that for the class of 2024? Malachi Palmer. Thank the fans for tuning in. And we'll be on the air here till 4 p.m. Broadcast partner Dew Jones, Belinda Morales in attendance, and yours truly, Todd Edwards, as players are running through various drills on the field. You had about the 20-yard line. Mm-hmm.
Following the ball and changing his hips to get the interception.
Yeah, this drill we're watching right now is pretty much, I guess, for the linebacker or to, straddle back and change his hips and make sure he can make the play, get the interception, at least deflect the ball so the wide receiver doesn't get any yards or catch the ball.
Looks as if they're done with the 40-yard dash runs there for the offensive lineman. Yeah, he carries throughout Horn Field here, no doubt.
These are defensive drills, how to make a play on the ball.
Looks like some passing drills here do. One-on-one coverage going down in the end zone here to the right on your TV screen.
You guys need anything? Need something to drink, Todd? We'll go to the grocery store.
I'm good. Yeah, I got water. A bevy of events taking place here on Horn Field right now. Broadcast team of Dew Jones, Todd Edwards here. Looks like everything is taking place in between the lines here, if you will. Various activities, some speed and agility drills, some passing drills taking place.
I say, Todd, there probably is about 60 student athletes out here right now, out of 80, and we already knew that a couple student athletes wasn't going to be here today because of COVID-19 issues and some quarantines. So out of 80, you know, they have probably about 85% of fans, student athletes that showed up. Very nice, especially with it being this first time having a regional combine.
Combine here, yeah. First of 5 to take place throughout the Commonwealth here, and we're fortunate here at Redline to have one.
Yeah, and we should speak on the sponsors as well. We have Big 33 as a sponsor, Hudl as a sponsor, Rising Stars.
Rising Stars football, next college student athletes.
Next college student athletes, and also the PSFCA is also a part of our sponsorship tonight. And you can see all these sponsorships. I'm sorry, all these names at the bottom of our screen, and also their contact information.
Yeah, and we mentioned earlier Rich Garcia, a trainer who's here as well. A coach, trainer. Ron Johnson, of course, tied in with Rising Stars Football Academy, passing drills. And some familiar faces joining the broadcast booth, huh? How about your Duke Jones sons are here in attendance. Welcome. And my daughter Lexi came back as well. They had to fuel their systems with feud. At least my daughter, I know she had to. And the stars of tomorrow playing or on display today. How about it, Do? Reminder fans to stay tuned to our broadcast till 4 p.m. today. We'll be bringing you coverage here of the Combine from Horn Field as various drills taking place.
Linemen, it might be older guys, yep, older guys. Some are linemen.
It looks as if they have a combination of both the younger and the more senior players all on the field today. It's cameras focused in around the goal line on the left side of your television screen. The upperclassmen, and then combination of everyone on the field right now, running through various drills.
Yeah, it's like Hudl, Big 33. It should be at the lower third, like at the bottom.
A whole new group of sponsors do. How about it for today's broadcast? All new sponsors. And as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, our first endeavor into broadcasting a combine with Sports Shooting Stars. Fortunate enough to be invited out here with Ron Johnson and Rising Stars Football Academy, and it was a nice day.
Just got to remind them. Oh, sorry. Yeah, just reminding the fans that, when you do a combine, there's so much going on that, we have to kind of, scan the field from here to there, because we can't really focus on one player or one event. So there's a lot of players out here putting a lot of work in. There's at least 60 players, student athletes out here putting in the time and putting in the dedication to be better at their craft.
It certainly tests your broadcast skills. How about it, do? On display here today. But it's nice to enjoy something new in terms of the broadcasting of a combine. Again, the first of 5 that will be held throughout the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, featuring future stars. And it looks like, they're setting up for some more 40-yard dash runs here, along with some passing drill, one-on-one passing drills.
Little short one?
Yeah, he's with that thing on his leg now.
Yeah, that's him, right?
Yeah.
He's going on like a 4.3. 4.9.
He's like a speed trader at Dixon.
They said he told me he might go to Img.
Yeah, he was looking at it.
He got crazy speed.
Yeah.
He's teaching him how to fire off the 40.
On the left.
He's about to come out. Shit, hit him like a bullet.
It was Michael Scott, number 206 for Dallastown, an 8th grader, incoming freshman in the fall for Dallastown, running the 40. Michael Scott will be the class of 2025. Go ahead, Du.
Yeah, I saw Michael Scott during the summertime. He told me he's interested in going to Img Academy down in Florida. So that should be really interesting to see if he has the opportunity to go down there and play some football. He's lightning quick, and like I said, if he can do it in the classroom, then he can do it on the field.
Yeah, IMG Academy. Also, this week, news came out. Remember Kadar Copeland, the former Gettysburg Warrior? He is going to be committing to IMG Academy. And, of course, another local product, Jerace Walker, will be a senior there at IMG Academy. It's incredible he'll be a senior, too.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think Jasir Walker is now 6'8", 240. That's almost LeBron James size if you think about it. I mean, he was playing down at Susquehanna, and it was a great thing, a great move for him to go down to IMG of Florida and play down there because he was just dominated around here if he stayed in this area.
Yeah, you get to play on the level of IMG Academy. You're playing against top-notch talent from around the country. And he'll be a senior this year for upcoming year, IMG Academy. Maximus Madden, who was running there, number 203, his 40. Trying to find some of the names to correspond with the numbers here. Our rosters, not in numerical order, as I mentioned earlier, do.
See, they use that joint right there, like football drilling.
Got some passing drills here taking place with wide receivers and one-on-one coverage. Those dudes zoning in. We've entered our final hour of our broadcast. Do your thoughts so far on today's broadcast?
It's been very interesting watching these guys come out here and play and go through these agility tests. I think Ron Johnson, Big 33, Hudl, and all the other sponsors did a great job of getting these guys out here. They all have shirts that really look really cool. The shirts are really cool. You know, and it's the first year of them having this type of combine, so it can only get better. It can only get bigger as well. But right now, I'm really enjoying myself. It's a beautiful day, a little breezy, but it's April, so you know you expect it. We're you know, we live in Pennsylvania, so you know the weather changes by the day. Looks like all the student athletes are having a good time. You know, meeting each other. They're taking pictures. They have really cool shirts that they got. They got, so you know, this is something they can remember for a long time.
See Michael Scott right now running through agility drills. Yeah, and you see some of the turf there at about the 35-yard line, as mentioned. Karan Brown here mentioning it's getting worn out there a little bit, you know, that synthetic turf. Be interesting to sitting here watching, obviously, the football players running through this drill. It would be interesting to see. Maybe basketball players do some of these agility drills. Maybe volleyball players, girls or boys volleyball players, run through some of the 40-yard dash, the speed and agility drills, just to see where they stand, you know, with their skills.
Well, just like Redline's coach Shea was talking about, some of his athletes are two-sport athletes, so you know they get a chance to, you know, try all these different agility tests. So you know, it's very interesting to see them go through things and see where they gauge at and where they land.
You had the vertical jump earlier that was on display, along with the broad jump. Just gives you a sense of your talent, your skill level a little bit, quickness. Maybe the next time, when we're back here, we'll be broadcasting a high school football game with some fans under the lights this fall. Again, look for our broadcast schedule, which will come out later, and like our Facebook page on Facebook or Instagram.
Yeah, like Coach Shea told us, Redline's first regular season game this year is going to be against Central York, and they have a rivalry against each other, so that should be a really good game. And hopefully we'll be here to film that game, Redline versus Central York.
Yeah, I believe the last time Central fans were here, if you remember, the bleachers were kind of destroyed. The student section, a lot of noise and a lot of they were bringing pandemonium on their side, and I do recall that from a couple years ago when the fans were allowed prior to COVID. But again, we mentioned earlier in our broadcast, Central York Panthers, there'll be a hot ticket if fans are allowed to come in and watch them. Whether they're home or away, people will be drawn to see the Central York Panthers led by Bo Prabula in his senior year for the Panthers. And it's my understanding, they have a young team coming up. Their freshman team's been undefeated all season for Central York, and there'll be sophomores in the fall. So they're really retooling the Central York Panthers ball club.
Yeah, it's going to be really good to watch some guys play this year because you don't know who's going to do what this year because a lot of the seniors have left. But, again, York High is one of those teams that they always have players that come up, play really hard. They're led by Sam Stoner, which is their quarterback, and of course, Jaheim White, who's pretty much a 4-star, 5-star football player for for York High. So keep an eye out for Jaheim White. I've been seeing him doing a lot of different, going to a lot of different scouting programs, and just working out his physique and getting bigger and stronger. He actually he works out with Ali Johnson of Maximus, and Ali's a guy who pushes you to the max. So if he's with Ali, he's going to do well.
No doubt about another superstar possibly to watch here in YIAA. We all know about Bo Perbula, but another one, Jaheim White, as they call him, Florida. And it looks like Coach Ron Johnson addressing some of the players there near about the 40-yard line. And it looks like maybe possibly wrapping up some portions of this camp here,
Quite possibly. We'll see how things go. I know we're tapped to be here till 4 o'clock today. So we'll see how things go. But, again, this has been executed very flawlessly. They had a great job of getting all the kids out here. They have a place they can take some pictures.
And it does remind you a little bit also of training camp feels. If you've been to training camps, whether with the NFL or even college camps, sometimes with the informalness of it all, and then typically lots of times after the camp or practice, you'd have the opportunity to meet the players. Some fans, obviously more parents, are here in attendance, come out to see their sons run through the combine here. But again, we would like to thank Ron Johnson with Rising Stars Football Academy for inviting sports shooting stars out here today to bring the combine to you today.
How you doing? All right. Big 33 is well represented at this combine.
Oh, no doubt about it. And, of course, that'll be taking place on Memorial Day. Over East-West game, also over Memorial Day weekend at Central Dauphin High School. Will you be in attendance, or you think you'll make your way up to see any parts of that tournament over Memorial Day weekend?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind coming up there. And as you said earlier, every every Super Bowl so far has had at least one Big 33 player in it. So that's 59 years of having a Big 33 player from Pennsylvania play in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, a rich history with the Big 33 game. It's dating back to the Hershey Park Stadium for many years now at Central Dauphin High School. I know I'll be committed. I believe my daughters will be wrapping up their club volleyball season over Memorial Day weekend, unable to make it up to Central Dauphin to see that. I'll either be up in Happy Valley or over at Pittsburgh, Steel City, to wrap things up with the volleyball tournament on Memorial Day weekend. Yeah, it looks like some of the players have left the field. There's still some set up at around the 30-yard line, and some are still running the 40-yard dash. But we may be winding down the combine here this Sunday afternoon. And, again, we want to thank the fans for tuning in. Something new in the way of broadcasting a combine for sports shooting stars, our first.
probably be the last of the 40s. I think everybody ran at least once or twice. And as we're showcasing the 40, which is a really important part of any football player's resume, 40s are something you got to work towards and also train how to get off the block and how to finish when you're running that 40 as well.
So what you're telling the viewers, you and I are not ready for this.
No, not at all. I'm pushing 40. Can't do it like that no more.
In the middle of your race, you'll pull a hammy as you're running down the field.
Stomach cramp, or a hammy, all types of stuff I have. See my boy Kate down there laying down. Gotta get some good angles though. He's just getting the feet though. He's laying right down there.
And the sun has reappeared here at Hornfield Dew, which brings warmth to us here. But thankfully, the rain held off. I know there were some intermittent clouds and sun today, but it was a beautiful day for a broadcast here at Hornfield.
Also, let them know after the combine, we do a quick post-game interview with Ron.
Yeah, we hope to make our way, a broadcast partner here, Dew Jones, mentioned, we hope to make our way back down onto the field here at Hornfield and kind of wrap the broadcast up with Ron Johnson, who, again, was gracious enough to invite us here today to today's combine, and some big 33 officials we spoke to before everything got started today. And some of the players look as if they're making their way, home today. How about it? And getting ready for their school week.
Probably looking for a nice Sunday meal.
No doubt about that. What's cooking on your menu here, Dew? You know, we kind of talk a little bit about everything here from sports and that, but what are you looking forward to tonight for your meal?
I don't know exactly what I'm going to eat, but I'm looking forward to having some fish, some cabbage, some collard greens, some macaroni and cheese. I know my oldest son, Karan Brown, he doesn't like all that stuff, man, but that's good for the soul, and that's what we need to eat. I love that food.
That sounds good. I know my wife, I think, was talking about making a boneless chicken breast, or turkey breast, tonight with some stuffing, mashed potatoes, all the stick to the rib type food. So, yeah, we cover all bases here sometimes, from sports to food. And, of course, the more I'm talking food, I'm getting hungry here, Dew.
Yeah, for sure. We've been out here since about 11:30 filming this combine. It's been fun, though. It's been a really good time. But we are getting a little hungry. It's been a couple of hours, but anything for the student athletes that we can do to help highlight what they got going on or give them some more exposure, we're all about. So it's well worth it.
And Dew, when you talk like we do, we really work up an appetite. All this talking really creates a hunger for some food as we're winding things down here. The 40-yard dash taking place, some skill and agility drills in front of us.
Not a bad combine for them to have over 60 players here.
Yeah, from around the Commonwealth, really, on display. And we hope the student athletes are able to get some film footage and send it out to possibly some colleges and universities. Would be interesting to do with all the athletes that ran today, what maybe some of the quicker times were in the 40-yard dash. It'd be interesting to know. Yeah, it looks like the field of players are thinning out a little bit. My daughter mentioned that a lot of the players have already started to pack up and leave, and they put their combine in for the day. It looks like some of the younger players remain on the field. It's interesting to see, your son mentioned it, about how portions of the field there are kind of ripped up there with the synthetic turf there. They're about the 35-yard line. Wrapping up some of the 40-yard dash runs here for the players. Don Edwards here with Dew Jones back here with our broadcast. It looks like in the waning minutes, it looks like a lot of the players are kind of filing off the field here, Dew, finishing running their 40s. But go ahead, Dew.
No, I was going to let you go. I was going to say, I'm just going to scan the field. You can see, like, most of the events are over.
Yeah, most of the events, the coaching staff of Redline on the field. Ron Johnson down there as well. I did see some representatives, I believe, from IUP here, Indiana University of Pennsylvania, Division II school. Known for their sports, football, volleyball program. A lot of the players are starting to break now and head off to be the first base side, the first base dugout here at Red Lion, Horn Field. And their day looks to be completed as there's some final runners running the 40-yard dash. Again, we want to remind our viewers to tune in to Sports Shooting Stars and like our Facebook page or follow us on Instagram. Stay tuned to that page as in the coming months we'll release our broadcast schedule for football and who knows, maybe a volleyball game as well, Dew.
Well, we also have a lacrosse game coming up. Don't know exactly what the date is. I know it's in like 2 weeks. It'll be Central York and I believe versus maybe Redline. I'm not 100% sure, but I know it's a game that's highly touted. People want to see it, so we're gonna be doing our first lacrosse game. So Todd, you can go crazy with that one, man. I know you'll knock it out.
Are you gonna get involved with the broadcast as well, Dew?
Well, I'll be there. Yeah, I'll be there, but I don't know how much talking I can do about lacrosse because I never did it before. But I'll definitely be there for support. So, looking forward to that as well, and also volleyball games. And as I said before, we did a lot of male-dominated sports the last couple of years, but this year coming up, we're going to try to go towards girls volleyball, girls basketball, and just, girls lacrosse and things like that. We want to try to feature a lot of females this year on our program.
Yeah, girls lacrosse season in effect. And, of course, we want to congratulate the Kentucky Wildcats girls volleyball. They won the national championship last night over Texas. I'm not sure how many fans watched it, but having daughters involved with volleyball, it was a big volleyball champion. Big game, yeah. And Kentucky, I thought for sure Texas Longhorns were going to win, but Kentucky a stout team as well. And living in this area, we see a lot of the Big Ten volleyball teams, but we're not quite familiar with the SEC or the Big 12 teams that were represented in the finals last night with the women's volleyball. But congratulations to the Kentucky Wildcat volleyball program for winning the national championship last evening, seen on ESPN 2.
Younger class left. Now we just have the class of 2022, 23 left.
Again, looking like they're running through some agility drills here, Dew.
The sophomores and the sophomores and the juniors right now going through some agility tests. The freshmen, a couple of 8th graders are out there too. Okay.
Courtesy of Lexi or my daughter.
Yeah, Lexi Miller. She knows the guys. She knows who's who.
All hands on deck on today's broadcast here, no doubt.
And as we said before to the fans, when you're doing a combine, there's so much going on at one time. We're trying to focus on as much as we can, but there's so many things going on. But
you can hear some of the coaches from Redline here instructing the players. And you see some of the quarterbacks there at about between the 25 to the 35-yard line, throwing from their one knee there, Dew. Their core, working on their hip.
But with the bass, it's like more like mindset there. You got time like your feet real fast, like.
Karan Brown joining us in the broadcast booth. I think he's about ready to get down on the field here, and jump into the fray here with the players. Some of the agility and speed drills taking place. Some of the equipment being disassembled here on the field, and as we're winding down our broadcast, entering our final half an hour of the broadcast here with Sports Shooting Stars.
It's funny how the Jordan basketball sneakers are now Jordan cleats. They have football cleats made by Jordan. So that's pretty nice. Michael Jeffrey Jordan, the legend. You see that a lot in the NFL. A lot of those football players, they wear those Michael Jordan cleats.
He's expanded from basketball to football.
It's all about fashion nowadays. It's all about fashion.
And that's on display with some. You talk about fashion. It's on display with some of the players out here with their cleats, and some really pop, no doubt about it.
Yeah, Todd. I like to see players, all the student athletes, that like show a little bit of their personality and put a little customize their cleats or their socks or something like that, just to show a little bit of personality out there, because it shows a little bit of who they are.
Yeah, we'd like to thank our sponsors for today's Combine, Rising Stars Football Academy, Next College Student Athletes, Hudl, big part, along with the Big 33 and the PSFCA. Yeah, and as you can see, all throughout our broadcast, all their sponsor information has been on the bottom portion of your television screen. As again, the Suns reappeared today, right now, currently here at Horn Field. Quarterbacks at midfield here for fans watching.
First move, second move, third move.
What, you talking about the quarterback or?
No, the move.
Contact drills taking place in the end zone here for the linemen.
Also want to highlight that we do have a player from St. Joe's Prep tonight. That's the state champions, St. Joe's Prep. One of their players are here tonight. I guess had Todd look it up real fast.
Daniel Daley. Daniel Daley, a class of, looks like 2022. That I'm
Junior. Going to be a senior this year.
going to be a senior out of Philadelphia.
What position he play? Or you don't know?
Yeah.
I don't think he said what position he played.
Yeah, he's listed at 6'1", 225. Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's big, bro. It's not tall, but I mean, that's solid, yeah.
Get out of there. Go. Press up in here. Go. Get out of here.
And that sun comes out, it just brings a different dynamic.
It does feel, yeah, we feel like we're weathermen from time to time here, dude, talking about the weather. But when the sun comes out, I bet it's about a 10-degree difference in terms of temperature behind. But beautiful. I mean, the cloud cover over the stadium, I'm sure some, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words, rather picturesque here with some of the cloud cover. But the sun, when it's out, it adds a lot more warmth to our broadcast here. But as we're winding down, our final, about 25 minutes remain here in our broadcast.
here.
Hudl. I'm with National Preps. We're a scouting service, free to the kids. We get paid by the colleges to early identify, evaluate, gather info, get that out to them. Helps them with their recruiting efforts and allows exposure for the kids to get their name out there more. So that's why I'm here. Coming to this one, going to be at a couple more of the events that Coach Johnson's putting on, and that way it helps his kids here get exposure.
And top.
So I have the Mid-Atlantic for the company. So we have guys in different areas, and I do the Mid-Atlantic. So Maryland, D.C., PA, New Jersey, Delaware, Virginia. So that's my.
Now you were here.
Yeah, a couple. One left actually injured, the Pelco kid from Pottsville. I liked him. This quarterback from York Catholic. I like him as an athlete. He's a good player. The Dallastown lineman, Seth Miller. Like him a lot. He's a high academic kid as well, which is good. Nice. We got a lot of Patriot Ivies and stuff like that. So that's good information right there.
No.
Sure. So nationalpreps.com is probably the best way. We have a online questionnaire there that kids can go and fill out their information. Again, all for free. That way you're in our database, you're in our system, helps you be in our reports. My Twitter is just TDHALD. That's an easy way to reach me as well. But
yeah, a few questions. Like I said,
services and all that.
we're definitely going to follow press because
Wow, about a week probably actually. So I know Coach so that they kind of come on Daley back home where we started. Yep. So he kind of linked me up with this because he knew what we did and thought it'd be a good cross brand.
And all you gotta do is get a hold of them, and you become best buddies. You know what I mean? So that's how problem is.
I'm trying to make that one with the one now. 3 weeks. Yeah, that one. Yeah, so money as I can, basically, is what I'll try and be at. So.
It was nice meeting you.
Thank you.
All right.
Todd from National Prep here, and another guest on the program. Follow him. Be sure to follow him on social media as well with National Preps.
Thank you, guys.
No doubt,
yep,
man.
no doubt. Take care. Okay. And again, as you can see, we're kind of winding things down a little bit here with some of the players and some of the coaches from some of the universities I've seen are here as well, taking one final look at some of the players on the field behind us do, and your thoughts wrap up our program here.
Well, I believe one other thing I want to say is, I think Ron Johnson, Coach Johnson did a
program. And again, we're kind of closing things out with some players. You would say probably maybe about players remain here on the field at Hornfield. Yes, it's been a great opportunity here, and we want to thank Ron Johnson for allowing us to come out for today's broadcast.
Yeah, and also one last for the 7th grade, 9th. And they're all from Pennsylvania. So
It's just been a Ron Johnson on Facebook. You can reach out, and again, for more information with his Rising Star Academy program or S3 performance at Heritage Hills.
Yep. And also Hudl. There's a couple other sponsors. Guy, make sure.
In the upcoming weeks, so we'll have a lacrosse game that we're going to be broadcasting, and we hope to maybe delve into some volleyball games in the fall. And again, you can follow us on Facebook or Instagram at Sports Shooting Stars. Like us, share the page, and stay tuned as we'll release our schedule for upcoming games and seasons.
Right. Yep. And we'll go back to a couple more of these agility tests, and we'll probably wrap up around 4 o'clock, Todd.
No doubt about it. 6'4", 220. And he's a quarterback tight end. He doesn't play defense.
Yeah, that's that one boy. That's that one boy. And we said defensive tight end.
Yep.
That's him.
Kendall Gordon from
He was hard to bring out, for sure.
That's it. That's what we want. That's what we want.
You know, it's my basketball player.
Yeah, not Diamond. I'm talking about the football.
That crew.
He's from
George School. I don't know where that is.
Sounds like a
Burlington. Is that Burlington?
Man.
George School.
Prince George County, I don't know if that name is.
George School. Yeah, no, that's his rap. Burlington.
I wonder who that coach is down there though. About 2 hours away. Probably came down Saturday.
Yeah, I was thinking about
Saturday. Yep. Yeah. He's only what? Going to be a junior?
Yes, that's it. That's what I want to see right there. That's perfect. Perfect. Ready? Go.
Yeah, that coach, he's a Redline coach, isn't he?
I figured I saw him before. I just don't know where.
Tackle like this. Is that what you do? Yeah, come on, man. Go. I'll take that. Like it. Like it. Go. Okay. All right. You don't want any one-arm bandits, though. Don't tackle the one arm. You catch it. Ready? Go. You can try to find it. You catch up.
That kid right there, that's 2 or 3, his thighs. Right here. You can see it up here.
Got them,
He doesn't miss too many leg days.
Saquon.
Yeah, Saquon Barkley.
Barkley legs.
Yeah.
He's so short, though.
What number? Yeah, 203?
Stout.
Yeah.
That might. They had
I've
to
got
run
Maximus Madden. He's 5'8", a buck 80. Yeah, Maximus. That's football about it. Maximus Madden. They listen to 5'8", buck 80.
This kid here, 2 320 is pretty solid. And that kid, Michael.
That's suburban. That's suburban.
He's been going to a lot of combines. So he's getting a lot of time.
Gosh, well, that Kenny Johnson's getting a player too.
He'll be back again next year for
Senior year. Do you think he'll come back to suburban, or it looks like his dad's shopping him around at different prep schools on social media?
He might.
Because he'll be a senior. Well, at suburban, he'll be a senior.
He might do that. I don't know.
Well, he'll be a senior.
And normally you do that 11th, 10th grade. They go to
Yeah,
prep
he
school.
does.
Senior season now. I see he went back to the. Yeah, he went back to the Raiders.
Quick as you can. Get in between those guys. Right? Get there and square up. You can read me. What are we looking at on that QB? Eyes or what else? Front shoulder, right? So if that's point there, there we go. Hey, I'm glad you just did that. You see where he went? What pass did he take? Backwards. You don't want to do that. Why do you don't want to do that?
It's just a couple minutes before 4 before we were out. I don't know what we did at that time.
Well, I heard him before. They said like you do like a thing like 2 minutes.
You guys that are out there, just stay there.
I'm gonna go talk to him.
All right? I'm just going to throw the ball to you. Back up.
Yeah, I mean, it's all coming up on 4. Yeah, that's what it means. I just looked at my watch. It's
We can stay online. We can stay on as long as we want to, but we all have different schedules.
Come on, we're gonna make it hard on you. You gotta get there. Gotta get there. Ready?
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll go down there about 4 or 5 a day. Wrapping up about 10 minutes.
Don't second guess yourself. You made the right read, you started to go, and then you hesitated. All right, go. Ready, go.
Done. Tired? Yeah. What did you do? Tire them out for the weekend?
I go to bed at a certain time.
Oh, they're up late, huh? The wee hours of the morning, huh?
I go to bed at a certain time.
Good break, good break. We'll get it fixed, man.
Well, I keep them busy, so they work with me.
They help you with your landscaping stuff? Yeah.
They work with me. Sometimes they're tired.
How do you enjoy doing it? Do you like doing it?
It's tough. But they do a good job. They keep up with everything. They look better than grown men out there. They know what to do. Even the little one, right? I give them about 4 hours a day.
Is that what you get like
4
that?
hours a day.
Do it?
Yeah. Work with your family, make some money.
Well, yeah.
Try to get about 17 or 20 hours a week or something.
That way. Yeah, she started her part-time job.
Where's that at? Oh, okay. All right.
But where she makes her money is on. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
That's
Some people are really nice with it, and then some people
some
are not.
don't. She was saying. Some of them don't. No, I'm not talking to Carrie. I was talking like me.
Be careful.
Yeah.
They don't need to
You don't want to be taking around just like this.
Old buddy doesn't that do that?
Like,
The older
that'll
folks?
hear me, and they just say, basically, horrible.
Wow.
Like, I don't know what to say back.
It's like Belinda touching somebody's hair. They don't get upset.
Yeah, it's like
I can't imagine. I just can't imagine doing that.
You got really good personality, so I would think you would make like really good tips.
Yeah,
She does a little bit of everything.
Bus
She just
tables,
started.
dishwashers.
Watching stupid ice cream.
Oh, since you know you're working there now, let's come by and
Check it out sometime.
get some food.
Yeah.
What's it?
I think Tuesday, Thursday, I think mostly is first. Yeah, she has the option to pick up more hours, but with her, with school and
Yeah.
it's kind of, especially with school.
She's an athlete too, so she's playing sports.
She's
Trying to juggle it all.
Yeah, it's a lot. Now sports are pretty much like year round and like
Oh,
3/4 of the year.
well, that's like the club, like with volleyball. I mean, they've been going. She's basically been playing since August with the school team and then the club, which will finish up next month. They have 2 tournaments next month. Yeah, it becomes. It used to be like when we were playing, it was based on whatever season was. The sport you play. Now
You had
it's
months off.
yeah.
sometimes.
Now it's like.
You really don't need to for you to come on.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing that you do if you want to play club. You know, then
Yep. AAU is year round now, so they want you to win.
you're talking basketball.
Oh yeah. Well, they have AAU volleyball too, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. But it's only towards the winter time.
yeah, their season goes. I mean, like varsity is the fall, and then she's right the winter into the early spring, and then the summer is probably. I guess do they have many summer leagues? Yes. Well, they have like beach volleyball.
Yeah. Seen that, yeah. So what's the difference between besides I guess it's just the sand, but what's the difference between indoor volleyball and like outdoor with the sand and stuff like that? Is it hard to move in the sand?
Yeah, it's definitely. And normally Sam's taking 2 people
Yeah.
and for the 6. So it's a lot more challenging. And just like being outside is harder on everything. And definitely the sleep.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
need to do that before you're out.
Sometimes I see it on TV, like the pro level, I guess. Sometimes they're like San Jose or California's like playing.
Well, the nice thing about it too, is that you're learning to play more positions than just maybe where you're in 6 years in time. So you have
Gotcha.
you're playing two. Yeah, you're playing multiple.
They also have
tough.
they have scholarships for sand volleyball.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
they just started that. It's fairly new. Yeah, it's at like a couple universities, like nice universities, like Florida, California.
Those places, the sunshine state.
Yeah.
Sun
where you can play all year round.
Yeah.
And them girls, man, they're like fit. I mean, they're like
Oh,
solid,
yeah,
man.
they're solid. And tall. I mean, a lot of them big. I don't know if you saw any like the championship.
Nine.
Volleyball, actually. I mean, you're talking like 6'3", 6'4". You know, like Dana Renke, she's 6'8". And she can move. I mean, she can pop. I mean, she's
It's just different, man.
Yeah.
ooh, right on the ground there. I heard that. Ooh.
told him, he said they'll probably go for like another 25 minutes. I said, we're just gonna wrap up at 4:15, 4:20.
Oh, okay.
He said, I said, I just want to do a quick, like, post-game interview with him. Yeah, and just say, like, hey, just let us know where your next event's gonna be at. Yeah, so, and then he said, you guys can leave whenever. I said, we'll stay in there. Yeah, we're gonna do a quick interview, like, just so he can tell us like, where the next event's gonna be at.
Where they can reach out to the grandma.
Yep. Yep.
Today? Or do you kind of take your weekends off? Or Saturday, Sunday?
Yeah, I try to take Sundays off. I do stuff on Saturdays, but I try to take Sundays off because I don't like to work on Sundays. Give me one day to kind of get it back. I do a lot of the manual work, like wheelbarrows, stones up and down the hill, up the hill, down the hill.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, so it's like, I need a day to do some quotes as far as going out to the house and looking, see how much it's cost. Take the rest of it.
Keep those feet moving on the jam, right? You got good hands on.
Yeah, that 203 is a running back / linebacker.
Oh, okay.
Side,
Oh, okay, yeah, I got you.
Yep.
Mom stayed home, youngest daughter.
Well, the youngest daughter was with the Frank because they had a volleyball tournament, so she ended up going with them overnight and staying overnight. Oh, I think it was by herself.
Oh, okay.
I didn't think she was going.
She was going to like Walmart.
Yeah, I think she was doing some errands. I mean, I may go. I don't know. Know the lawn.
Yep.
I'll know.
You know Mo?
Oh, she does. Yeah, they do. Yeah, we kind of break up our house, front lawn and back lawn. So you could do it in one day, but with the rain that we had, probably, we got to get some mulch. We got to do some mulch. We've been busy with mulch. I mean, if it's not both of them, there's one of them coordinates.
I bet.
It was like after a period of time, it's like, I can't believe it.
Yeah, for sure, man.
You know, you run
Weekend warriors, man.
Yeah.
Go at it. You know? Like, you get done with work during the week or school during the week, and it's like, all right, now this.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. It's just that. She has too much points.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
Where's that? Just post that. Yeah. Are you gonna have anybody like? I guess this would be what have commentators playing with Boston.
Well, I'm gonna have John Turpak.
Okay, his son plays.
Yeah, he knows all about it.
Okay, good. So he's okay. So the boys and girls season run simultaneously. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought. I got you.
Yeah, so we may do Central versus West Shore and Close to Design. We're not going to do that. Yeah, it's not that we won't do that. So we're going to do the Your Catholic one on 5-4, which is 2 weeks from now.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
5-4 That's Your Catholic.
Yeah, I think supposedly they're like rivals a little bit.
Okay.
Or the best, or one of
So John knows, yeah.
I saw him like posting stuff. Like, hey man, like you guys want to play a game? I was going to be. It was just kind of being.
Yeah, senior. Oh yeah.
And then Casey Campbell was like, work.
Yep. And that'll be at Central York Catholic.
I'm not 100% sure. I think it's at Central. To be honest, he said like Somerset, let us get right in there.
Okay. Big team, whoever that is.
Yeah. Central York girls. I think. The boys team stout. The girls.
Oh, okay.
But we should once the schedule comes out try to.
Big matchup.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pushing them now. I'll let you on that mic side and kind of toast in, wrapping up in the next 5 to 10 minutes. This battery's getting low too.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah.
It's been, yeah, it's kind of. Fans, we're back. Todd Edwards here with Dude Jones, bringing you some of the sights and sounds here of the Combine. We'll be wrapping our program up here momentarily in a couple minutes. We have 4 hours worth of broadcast coverage here today at Horn Field.
You hear them pads hitting now.
Yeah, Ron Johnson down there on the one end zone.
Give me that bag down there. That bag right down there. Go down there.
Yeah. Greetings and salutations, sports fans. It's Todd Edwards standing here along with my broadcast partner, Dew Jones, and we are in the waning minutes of wrapping up a busy broadcast day. How about it, Dew?
Yeah, it was a great event. You know, you can see this is a match.
Over our shoulders, Ron Johnson addressing the players here as we're going to wrap up our broadcast. You're gracious enough to be part of it here with our first ever combine, broadcasting a combine. We hope the fans at home enjoyed it as much as we did, Dew.
Yeah, great event. It was a good day. So Ron Johnson, producer, IT guy, Cliff Kern, videographer, Belinda Morales. You know, we really appreciate everybody showing out today. You know, with a combine, there's so much of attention, and that's a challenge in itself. So, you know, we tried our best, but, you know, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys on the flip side. I think the next time, well, follow Ron Johnson. He'll let you know when his next combine is, and also follow Sports Shooting Stars on Instagram, Twitter, and also on Facebook. And, you know, we film live high school basketball and football games. We have a lacrosse game coming up.
Couple weeks, right?
Yeah, so we're really excited about that. So, you know, just stay following us on what we're doing, and we'll see you guys soon.
Have yourself a great rest of your Sunday afternoon. For Todd Edwards, Dew Jones, signing off for Sports Shooting Stars.